and welcome to my test website. In this video I'm going to show you some how to not be so scared about playing with things in WordPress. I'm going to show you what you can and what you can't mess with and how to fix it. So we come into our website. I have a backup plugin installed called Backup Buddy, and I preach and live by this plugin. It's in every single one of my videos pretty much, and I can't stop talking good things about it. So I'm going to make a complete backup of my site. There's other videos that show how this works and the details. But the idea is that before you do any work on your site, you make a backup. If you're only going to play around with things in here, then just make a database backup. If you're going to play around with plugins and add and install things and play with files and maybe code, then you've got to make a complete backup like I just did. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the different parts. So posts, let's have a look in here if this function is enabled here. So let's just make something here and see. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add something in here. I'm going to add this in here, and right now it's an image. Okay, let's say we spend our time positioning it. We had someone go in here and make something special. Who knows what? Who knows how? Who cares? Let's say we have a couple of these. Let's say we got some text. I know it looks really nerdy. It should. Update. See that revisions, it just went up to 3. So each time I do something and save it, it's changed. So now we have this. Let's say that, we accidentally deleted that. And while we were doing that, we accidentally clicked update. So what do? Most people would go back in here and edit it, or you could probably press, no you can't. But most people would go in here and just add it again. But let's say it's something you don't understand. Let's say it looks like this. Let's say you have a bunch of short codes in there. Like this, you know, that's a short code. There could be a bunch of those in here. What you can do is you can click on this little browse. So I'm just going to update it. I'm going to click on this little browse here. What this does is it shows new version versus the old version. So compare any two revisions. Alright, so let's go back. So this is the one. You can see it had the image, right? Because it's got more text there. So let's restore that one. How do we restore that? We turn that off. We go back. Yeah, that's the one. We click restore. That didn't work. So let's try again. Alright, so this one has everything. So let's click restore to get that version. There we go. That's how simple it is if you make a change on a blog post, and I believe it's the same here in pages as well. So let's just test that. Yes, so you also have that option here as well. So that's nothing to worry about there. And well, if you add new files, they get added and you shouldn't really remove them. Comments, I wouldn't worry about so much. So they're the things that you can do. And if you, let's say you accidentally delete your about page like that, then it just goes here to trash. So as long as you don't click here, you're fine. If you do click restore like this, it comes back, and then you have it there. So let's say that we spent a ton of programming on our about page. It cost us like, thousands of dollars, or let's say it cost us $1,000. We've just lost it, right? It's permanently deleted. What we can do here is we can go back to restore, and I'm going to go back to the database I made 5 hours ago. Alright, so let's test, and let's check if that page is there. Oops, just logged me out. There it is. I lost other pages because that backup that I made 5 hours ago was it's an old one. So let's just try for the one we made 5 minutes ago. So you can actually just swap around like this. Just waiting for that to roll back. So there is a new plugin for WordPress called Revisor. This one is for developers, but it's a cool plugin, and it's something that could be used for what we're looking at now, but it's only for developers. Alright, so now it's got some problems, but that should be fine. It just couldn't rename the table, and that's okay. I don't think we need that. Let's go back to pages. Oh no. Now, oh no. Oh, site undergoing maintenance. That's terrible. You know what happens when you get that? You have to go into FTP. You have to go into the files of your site. It's not really as bad as it sounds. And you have to fix it. So, this is the files of our site. I'll just make it a bit bigger. This is all the files in our site. Now, we got to fix that. We got to be able to see what that error is. So I'm using a program here to be able to look at the files on my site. But what it does is it shows me any hidden files. So I was just looking here for hidden files. There isn't any. I'm just going to delete this and see if that fixed it. It's sometimes as simple as that. Alright, that's not working. So then we're going to have a look in plugins. What I'll do here is, this plugin is our backup plugin that's causing problems for us right now. So just pretend you're not seeing this part. Because I'm working on my local computer. New site. Permissions. Admin. You may run into these problems if you work local too. Alright, that's not letting me do it. So let's try but go back into admin. And it's still not letting me in. So then I want to do what I just tried, where I turn off that plugin. And that's not working. We should start panicking, maybe. Most people would. I'm not too worried because it's just a test site, but it could be more than that, you know. So, all right. Now I can show you, possibly. Maybe if I can get into another site, if I get into my site, this is what happens when it goes bad, and I wasn't meant to do that, but I want to show you how I solve it. So I'm going to download a file called import buddy. and this would be in the other site, it's just not accessible there. So now what we're going to try and do is we're going to move uploads, backups. We're going to move that full backup that we made just a bit earlier up. We're going to move it up here. And then we're going to open up this file. And this is what happens when you really mess things up. I'm just showing you how to fix it. So now we have that file, and we need one more. We need that import script that I just got, and we need to put that in with the new site and rename it. There. Now we go back here, we put that, and it should show that script. I believe it's not doing it because of the settings here, so I'll just change it back to web and see what happens. Now we put in Ninja. So this HT access could be the one that's causing us a problem. So we just want to check that out. For some reason my hidden files aren't showing here, I think. Yeah, okay. If we skip all of that I just did, all we had to do was delete this maintenance. Alright, let me just now go and visit the site, and voila, it works. We're not logged in, of course. Now we are. So now it works fine just because we deleted that file. It's because I couldn't see it. It was, when it has a dot in front of it, it's hidden. But let's continue on and pretend that we can't actually see the site still. I just brought that file back. So let's just refresh. Okay, now it's still broken. What we're trying to do is restore the site from that backup. So let me show you again. We got the import buddy file and we got the full backup. It says full there. We got here, we got the file open with the database information. Now what we're going to do is we're going to restore the backup. So restore files, database, both. Yes, we want to restore both. So now we just put all this back. This is really magic, this tool. Always remember to select that. And now our site here, which wasn't working, is now working again because we just restored a complete backup. Finish cleanup. That's why you should always have your FTP information close by so that you can go in and delete those files. Another thing, make sure the thing that you use to look at FTP, you show invisible files. I think I have FileZilla, yes, which is the most common one, and it's free. Let's just check to make sure it's settings. Just see if we can see invisible files. It may already show the invisible files. Let's just check. Yeah, it does. So if I go into users, Philip, all the dot in front of them, they're invisible files. Let me just make this a bit bigger It's been a very long time since I used this one. Sites, new site, and you can see here it shows the invisible files. That's okay, that's good. Great, so and then we come to themes. I skipped over this because each plugin has its own settings and I showed you how to get back with the database. So before you do anything, back up your database. Before you do anything, back up your database. And before you do anything, back up your database. Alright, widgets is where it gets tricky. If I take this widget, let's say I've added the text here, I've put a couple of these in. It's pretty simple, doesn't matter, I can easily restore it. If it was a much more complex plugin, widget, then I'd have a lot more work to do. If I put it here, it's going to deactivate this plugin and delete everything in it. Down here is a list for inactive widgets. For some reason, WordPress hasn't figured out that you should be able to hide this with all these widgets so that when you drag this down, then it's easy to put there. So now it's safe. Now it's not showing on the site. That widget area isn't showing. It's gone from here, but it's still safe. We can put something else there. See here, there, and we can bring that widget back. So that's how you should do your widgets so you don't mess them up or lose anything. Or you should make a backup of your site. So that's it. That's pretty simple. Another thing, you should never, ever, ever, ever go and touch any code in these places ever. Never, ever, ever. The only reason you can use this is just to have a little look to see how the theme looks. Never, ever, ever edit in there, ever. Like, I don't know how many times I need to say that to people, but you should never go in there. It's the absolute worst thing you could ever do. You can destroy your site. Yeah, you have a backup, but you might not be able to get into your backup. You might wreck something so badly. So it shouldn't even be here. Alright. Menus. If you edit your menu, you can't really get the settings back unless you backed up your site. That's the only way, is to come back to your backup. So you just have to be careful and make backups. And the rest of the settings the same. It's all, it's all in your site. It's all in your backup. So thank you for watching, and play around with your site. Just remember to back up, and if you back up and then you edit something and it goes wrong, then all you have to do is restore your site by clicking on restore. It's that easy. Have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.